This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, today we're going to discuss what is Python, what are the features of Python, what are the advantages in Python we're going to discuss. Everyone knows Python is a widely used language in data analytics as well as machine learning. AI, everywhere nowadays they're using the Python languages. It's a high level programming language, and the Python language is developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991, and then the further that other models are developed by the Python Software Foundation. They have one foundation. They have developed the remaining modules, but initially the developed by Python was Guido van Rossum in 1991. There are so many languages available: C, C++, Java, and then Golang. There are so many languages available. Everyone preferring Python because of simplicity. Simplicity in the sense, instead of writing 10 lines of code in Java, you can write only a single line of code in Python. That's why they mainly focus on code readability. Code readability means only one line of code will be there. Instead of writing 4 lines of code, you can write only one line of code. As well as the code is very readable, or you can use the built-in function as well. In Python, we can see we can see so many built-in functions. We can use the function as well as when compared to Java, Python will be very easier, as well as it has emphasis on code readability, very short lines of code, and then we have some syntax for Python, and then we have to follow syntax as well as you want to express, you can express your logic in a fewer lines of code. Instead of writing 10 to 15 lines of code in Java, you can write 2 to 3 lines in Python. And then why it's getting popular? Because of code readability. See, code readability means from the code you can able to understand what the code is doing actually. That is nothing but code readability. Second thing is shorter codes. Instead of writing a big codes in Java from scratch, you can write shorter codes in Python. If you take any other languages, Python is very easier because it has shorter lines of code. And then third thing is it supports multiple programming. Multiple programming in the sense, if you take Java, you can it's purely object-oriented programming language. As well as if you take Python, it supports multiple programming paradigms. One is object-oriented programming language, and second thing is functional programming language. Functional programming language means you can use the functions like map, filter. You have seen, right? In Python itself, we have map, filter, these and then we can call one function with another functions. These kind of things will be available in Python. Python supports multi-programming support. One is object-oriented programming and functional programming. Third thing is imperative programming. Imperative means how to say, line by line of code execution happen in Python. That is called imperative. Imperative means sequence by sequence. You can run the thing in Python. It supports three things. One is object-oriented, imperative, and functional. Functional means you can use map, filters, these kind of things you can use in Python itself. And then Python is having some philosophy called simplicity is the best, because it's very simple when compared to other language. That's why they have one. They're saying in philosophy like simplicity is the best. And then last thing I can say, it has various inbuilt functions. You can use inbuilt functions for your code logics, for your concepts as well. And then I'm going to discuss about the Python language features. What are the features are in Python? First thing is it has having interpreter. Interpreter means I can say if you take other languages, Java, C or C++, you have to do the compilation, then only you can able to run the program. But here There is no separate compilation process. Directly you can run a Python program, but internally in the Python virtual machine PVM, compilation will happen. After that, that entire source code will convert into bytecodes. Bytecodes contain assembly languages. That assembly language, the interpreter what will do? It converts assembly language into ones and zeros. That's why they're saying Python is having interpreter. If you take other languages, C or C++, they will say compiler. But in Python, they'll say interpreter. The interpreter what will do after compilation, it will take that class, it will take the bytecodes, convert into ones and zeros, and the machine will execute the your machine will execute the instructions one by one. And then that's what the machine over here. Third point, the machine over is Python converts source code into intermediate form called bytecodes, and then the interpreter will translate it into native language for the computers like ones and zeros. And then the last thing I want to discuss is no need to worry about loading the libraries. If you take Java, you want to add the additional jars. You want to import some additional jars, libraries. But here, nothing to worry about. No need of linking, no need of loading the libraries. Second thing is it's platform independent. Platform independent in the sense you can run in any of the operating systems. You can run in Linux or Macintosh or Solaris or Windows, and then Fedora, any kind of Linux flavors you can run. Because once after converting into bytecodes, you can run anywhere. You can run anywhere, like you can run in any other ways. That's why they're saying it's platform independent. As well as nowadays, in the Linux system itself, they are installing Python. In voice itself, installing the Python. No need to externally install the Python itself. Inbuilt Python is there. Third thing is high level language. Why I am saying high level language in the sense, no need to take care of memory. The Python PVM, Python virtual machine, will take care of everything. In that, one module called memory manager is there. Memory manager will take care of all things to create an object as well as to allocate the object as well as deallocate the object during runtime. It will take care by the memory manager. It is inside the PVM. That's why they're saying it's high level language as well as no need to worry about the managing memory. Python, which will take care of all of things. And then next thing is simple. As well as everyone knows, Python is very simple. As well as it's similar to English language. As well as syntax is also very short. You can learn that syntax very easily. For any kind of problem solving, for any kind of data analysis, you can use this Python. And then next thing is embeddable. Embeddable means Python used in like C and C++. Python used in embedded process as well as machine learning AI. You can integrate the Python in any kind of process. All these things we can do in Python, like C and C++, because most of the process using C++. Same thing, you can use Python to integrate the various processes, microprocessor, microcontrollers can integrate. That's why they're saying it's embedded. And then next thing is robust. Robust means, for example, it has having one feature, two features. One is exception handling feature. For example, if my program is running, I run 1,500 lines of code. In the middle of the code, some exception occurs. Some runtime exception occurs. Using a try and exception block, I can able to handle the exception in Python. That is, try and exception block will be there. Inside the try block, we have to place all the code. If any runtime exception happens, during runtime, any exception happens, any error happens, you can catch those exceptions as well as you can handle the exception. That's why we are saying it's robust. Second thing is memory management. Memory management means, already said to you, Python will take care of all things memory management. No need to worry about any garbage collections. Like Java, that will be a garbage collection will be there. No need to worry about any garbage collections in the Python. Python will allocate the objects. Once you run the program, automatically it will deallocate the memory for the particular objects. And then the last one is it has rich library supported. In philosophy term, they are including its batteries is included. Batteries means whichever dependency you require, you can install using pip3 command. That's why they're saying batteries are included. Batteries means like whatever modules you require, you can using external modules you require, you can install using pip3. For example, I want to work in databases, I want to do some unit testing, or I want to do some multi-threading executions. I want to create some website designs using Django. And then for I want to send some emails, I want to generate some XML or HTML or audio files like WAV files, WAV files. I can use cryptography for this kind of things. I can use some external libraries. External libraries. If I want to send some, if I want to connect some database, Oracle database, I can install that corresponding library. I can connect my database. MongoDB. I want to connect means I can install the MongoDB library for example sending emails, XMLs for generation of XMLs, HTMLs, as well as for if I want to read some, if I want to play some audio, I can use some third-party library for WAV files. If I do some cryptography, I can use a third-party library. For graphic user interfaces, I want to create some GUI, I can use some third-party libraries. It's called either having rich library support. In philosophy term, they're saying like batteries included. Batteries means external batteries available, whichever dependency required, you can install those dependencies using pip command. As well as Python having some inbuilt libraries for time, calendar, everything, as well as for random generation, everything having their standard libraries. You can use the standard libraries. In the standard libraries, you can't even perform any operation. Then you can go for external libraries. For same thing like for database connections, you can use external library. That's why I said it has rich library support. These are the futures of Python. That's why it's very popular. It's interpreted and platform independent, as well as it's a high level language and simple and embeddable, robust and rich library support. Now I'm going to discuss. How to read the user input. How to read the user input using Python. Take Python ID, create one py file, read input from console. Read user input from console. And creating in py file. There are two methods are available. One is raw input. This method is available in Python 2.6, two versions. Python 2 versions for reading a raw input. This one method is available in Python 2.x versions. I can say 2.x versions. Right now, I'm using the Python 3 version. I'm using in Python 3 version. The raw input method is not supportable. It's deprecated. Still, it's not in use. It's removed from the Python 3 version. Now, I'm going to read the input. I'm going to take some variable name. The method name is input. Double quotes. I'm going to pass, enter the value, and then I'm going to print those values. The value of x is value of x is now I'm going to run this program. It asking for the value. I want to give some my user inputs. I'm going to give us 2. Now it's printing the value of x is 2. See this input reading the input from the console. The type will be a string. You might be wondering like though it's a integer, but actually when it's read from the console, it will be given as a string. If you want to know the type, what's the type of the x, you can mention like this: print type of x. I want to know the type. It is an integer or string. Python default, what will happen? It will read the user input as a string. I'm going to type the input. It's 45. The class is string. Default, if you give some integer or float value or double value, any kind of values, it will consider as a string. See here, whenever I type the input 45, you should come to the next line. You should come to the next line. What I have to do? I have to put /n. /n stands for new line. Next line or new line you can mention. Okay, next line or new line. Or you'll say new line. Now, asking for the input 24. The class is string. The class is string. If I want to convert into a int or float or double value, I want to do the typecasting. I want to do typecasting. The concept is called typecasting. I want to convert from one type to another type. That is called typecasting. Now, though you know 24 is a int value, but this input method reads the input from the console and then it's displaying in the console as a string. Now I want to perform typecasting. Typecasting means converting string to int. If you check the type, instead of string, now the class of x will be int. You can see. I want to type the value 34. The class value is int. This is how you have to perform the typecasting. You can change any types. Float. I'm going to give the float value now. The float value is you have to give in decimals. 09. Now, the class value is float. If you remove the typecasting, what will happen? The default, whatever you are giving the user input, will be a string class. Okay, fine. You can convert 34.09 to string. Default convert string. If you want to convert external string, you can make it as str. Hold a minute. Yeah. This is how you have to perform the typecasting. And then next thing we're going to see how to take a multiple inputs from user in Python. As of now, you've seen only single input, right? As of now, you've seen only single input. Now, I'm going to show how to read a multiple values, multiple inputs from user in Python. Taking multiple inputs from user in Python. I'm going to take the variables x. Sorry, I'm going to take the variables y equal to. I want to take two variables because I want to take multiple inputs, right? I want to store that multiple inputs into multiple variables. That's why I took two variables x, y. Now we have only one method to read the input from the console. Give the input, just pass, enter the value, enter the input value. Okay. Now I can use two methods. The first method I can use split. In the split, I have not passed any arguments. It will consider as space, space as a delimiter. If you are not giving any arguments in the split method, it will consider as space as a delimiter. Now, I'm going to print this value int of x, y. Just leave this part. Now see here, enter the input value. How I have to give the value in the sense, I have to give 23 and then 45. What the split will do, it will take the 23 and then it will consider space a delimiter. The 23 will be stored in variable x, 45 will be stored in variable y. The split function will do based on the delimiter. Now, what I can do, I can create a new class for this. As I want to run taking multiple inputs from enter the value. What you can do, you can put the new line. You can run now. Just type the value. Give one space and type 45. Now it's printing 20 or 45. Actually, in print statement, I didn't format anything. You have to do like this. The value of x is value of x and y is like this. You have to do the formatting. If you type the value 45, 78, is going to print the value of x is 45 and y is 78. This is how you have to take the multiple values. Yeah, you can specify some delimiter also. What you can do, you can specify some delimiter also. Separator. What kind of separator are you going to use? I'm going to use comma separator. Whenever passing the inputs, you have to pass comma in the console. That's it. Just pass some value 56, comma 89. The value of x is 56 and then y is going to be 89. This is how you have to take the multiple inputs and then assign to a variable. And then one more method is there, list comprehension. We're going to see the list comprehension in loopings. At the time I'll say how to use the list comprehension. Using list comprehension, you can take the multiple values. Okay. And then one more thing I have to say to you. Now I'm going to use the print statement. I'm going to run the script. I'm going to enter some values 67, 90. You can see the cursor. You can see the cursor. It's directly moving to the new line. Now, see the difference. I'm going to remove the print statement. I'm going to command this print statement using hash, and then I'm going to run the now. 45, 78. Yeah, actually, uh, yeah, yeah. I use a print statement over here. If I use a print statement, what will happen after printing the value? The cursor will move to the new line. This is the default behavior of the print statement. After printing the value, the cursor will move to the new line. If my cursor want to be in the same line, if my cursor want to be in the same line, for example, this is the actual line, value x and y is 4078. The cursor want to be in the same line, you can use an argument called end. In the end argument, what I'm going to give? I'm going to give the space. If you run this script, you can see the cursor now. 45, 39. See, it's not going to the new line. See, it's not going to the new line. The cursor is still same in the value x and y is 45, 89. The cursor is still same in the line. But if you remove the end, you can see. I'm going to give some values. 57, 90. You can see one new line is there, right? This is a default behavior of the print statement. These things you want to know. That's why I mentioned. Now I'm going to say how to format a string. How to format a string. Now, this is a basic thing actually. Now we're going to discuss about string formatting. How to do string formatting. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove this print statement. Okay, otherwise I'll do one thing. Do the same thing again. S L. One is M. Now, string formatting, there are multiple options available. One is using modulo, another one is dot format. Multiple options are available. Now we're going to see using format method how to do string formatting. I'm going to use the method called format. Now, what you have to do is put one placeholder. Put one placeholder. Remove the x and y. So in double quotes is a string, right? String. In the string, you can use a method called format. In the format, I'm going to pass L and M value. Now, what will happen in the first placeholder, L value will be placed. The second placeholder, M value will be placed. This is how we can do the string formatting. Actually, in Python 3.0, most of them use the format. But in 2.6, they use the one operator called modulo operator. Using modulo operator, you can do the string formatting. In 2.6, they use the modulo operator to do the string formatting. Now, I'm going to run this program. As of now, what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to comment these two more lines. This is how you can do the string formatting actually. I'm going to give some values 34, comma 90. The separator is comma separator. You can see right the value of oh yeah, I didn't do proper formatting over here. Value of x is and y is 78, 90. You can see the value of x is 78 and y is 90. What the format will do, it will place the values in the placeholder. These are the placeholders. I have two placeholders. Like this you can do. And then in format, what you can do, there is one more option also available. You can pass the positions. You can pass the positions. See, I'm going to pass a position. What position it is? So it is zero placeholder. It is a first placeholder. I can pass the positions like this, and then I can pass the values of L and M. Like this you can do. Now you can see right. You want to swap the value. What I can do? Swap the positions. Swap the positions. Instead of 0 can give 1. For 1 you can give 0. I'm going to swap the value. Y value is going to assign for x. X value is going to assign for y. Like this you can do. Like 67, comma 78. You can see value of x is 78, y 67. In string formatting, as per our convenience, we can swapping in the strings only. Because actually is not changed, file name, but in string we have format like this. Y will come to x, x will is coming to y. This is how you want to do in. You have to do the string formatting. You might have a question. I can pass more than two values or not? Yeah, you can pass more values like this. Like for example, I have one more input. LMN. What you can do? You can pass a position as 0, 1, and then I have to put one placeholder. I want to pass a position as 2, and then you have to pass L comma N comma M comma En. Now I'm going to pass the three values 34, 56, 90. You can see right, x value is 34, y value is 56, and then n value is 90. Like this, you can do the string formatting. Okay. Now, this is how we actually do the string formatting in Python 3.0. Okay. Next thing we're going to see, I'm going to comment this lines. Next thing we're going to see, what are the arguments we can pass in print function. What are the arguments we can pass? We can pass in print function. Print function. Now I'm going to print some word called welcome to India. I can pass one argument called separator. Separator means what we'll do, it will take the default delimiter space, it split the string in terms of words. Welcome is a word, to is one more word, and India is another word. Now I'm going to use separator. Use a separator. How I want to separate these words? I'm going to give smart symbol. Separator equal to at, and then another argument I'm going to pass end equal to. What I'm going to pass? Slash n. Stands for next line, or you can say it's a new line. Next line or new line you can say. Okay. Now what is our output is going to come? Welcome at to at India is going to come because I given a separate address. At. Hold a minute. Hold a minute. Why it's coming like this? Welcome to India. I given separate address. Hold a minute. Can pass double quote as using quotes. So that's not a deal. Okay, it's coming to the next line. It's working fine. Why it's not coming? Separate is not working. Separate. Why the separate is not working actually? Hold a minute. Okay, 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 okay. Got it, got it, got it. See, I'm going to pass. This is actually a one entire string. One entire string. I'm going to pass multiple inputs. I'm going to pass multiple inputs. What I'm going to do? Welcome to another input is welcome to Singapore. Now I'm going to separate as at. It will come like this. Welcome to India at the rate of welcome to Singapore. Hold a minute. I made a debug for here. Yeah. You can see right. Welcome to India and then
Yeah.
at the rate of welcome to Singapore. For example, you can do like this. You can pass multiple inputs. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome Singapore. Okay. And pass. Separate rooms, you're going to separate these two inputs using at the rate and then slash n. What is going to do? It's going to give you a new line for you. Next line, or you can see. You can see, right? One new line came over here. But no need to provide a slash n over here because what is happening? Default. The print statement will give
Default
the
is
it gives a new line. Okay. But if you are using end statement, it won't give any new line. Keep in mind. Because end I giving blank space over here. Okay, empty I'm giving, it won't give you any new line. You can see that's no new line over here. If you are using end statement, there won't be any new line. But the print statement will give the defaultly new line for you. Fine. Now these are the arguments you can pass. And then one more argument is there actually. That argument is called flush. Have you heard of flush? Flush equal to the default value for in the print statement. If you're not using flush, the default value of flush will be false. Default value of flush will be false. If I'm making the flush as true, if I'm making the flush as true, what will happen? What will happen? It's going to print sequence of characters in the console. Sequence means, for example, that is a welcome to India is a welcome will print, and then two will print, Singapore will print. Singapore will print. But yeah, I'm going to give the example for you. Hold a minute. I'm going to use one module called time module. If you want to see the module, you can click on the time. You can see what are the functions available. What are functions available? Three functions available. I'm going to use this module. The module is called time module. The time module one function called sleep. Time nanoseconds, time milliseconds. All the functions are available over here. Just go through this module. Most of the time using this time module. Now I'm going to import the time module, and then I'm going to sleep for 5 seconds. In the print statement, I'm going to use a word called welcome to India. I'm going to show this thing in the my command prompt. In the PyCharm ID, you can't see the difference. What's the difference between flash equal true and flash equal false? For this script alone, I'm going to run in command prompt. Just go to Explorer, open in Explorer, run the script in the run prompt. Then only you can see the difference. How to run a Python program? You have to Python. No need of compilation. Just type file name is multiple input from user.py file. Welcome to India is printed. After that, it will wait for 5 seconds, and then it's printing welcome at Singapore. I given flush equal true. Now I'm going to change the value as false. Now you're going to see the difference. Now you're going to say that for me. What's the difference between flush equal to true and flush equal to false? Actually, I've seen the true. It printing welcome to India. After 5 seconds, it's printing the welcome at Singapore. Now I changed to flush equal to false. Look at here. Actually, I think I didn't save the script. Actually, hold a minute. Hold a minute. Now I'm going to run the program. It's not printing anything. See, I get flush equal to false. What is happening? It's printing the entire input. Welcome, welcome to Singapore and welcome to India. What is happening here? If I given flush equal to false, it will keep the entire thing in the buffer. It will keep the entire thing in the buffer. After the end of script, it's going to print the entire inputs in the entire outputs in the console. That is the flush equal to false. Now, if I give flush equal to true, what will happen? After printing this output in the console, it's going to flush the results in the buffer. It's going to flush the results in the buffer, and then after 5 seconds, it wait, and then it will print the welcome to India. You can see the difference now. I'm going to run the same script. Now flush equal to true. See, you can see welcome to Singapore. Welcome to Singapore printed. After that, you print the welcome to India. What is happening for this output is flushed in the buffer. Buffer it is flushed actually. If I give false, what happening? It's going to keep the entire output in the buffer. It's going to keep the entire output in the buffer, and After 5 seconds, it's going to print both outputs. Welcome at Singapore as well as welcome to India. Sounds fine. You can see the outputs now. It waited 5 seconds. It's keeping everything in the buffer. After 5 seconds, it's going to display the entire results. Welcome at Singapore as well as welcome to India. This is how the flush will work. If you are not giving flush equal to false, the default value considered as false. You might have a question, if I put flush equal to true, it's going to print sequence of characters. It's going to kill my time. Yeah, it's going to kill your time actually. Uh, Actually, you have to keep the flush equal to false. The default value principle will flush equal to false. It's going to keep everything in the buffer. After your script gets completed, then only going to print all the outputs in your console. This is how flush will work. These are the major arguments you can pass in the print. You can see right separator and then end flush. And then we're going to see the third argument that is called file. Right. That is called file argument we're going to see. Now, what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to write the contents into the file. Hold a minute, I'll make this as a comment using the string literal. Just put 3 double quotes the starting and 3 double quotes in the end. Now, I'm going to use on print statement. I'm going to use the word as welcome to Singapore. The third argument I'm going to use called file. How to put this welcome to Singapore contents in a file, we're going to see. For that, what I have to do, I have to use one module called IO module, input output module. Input output module I'm going to use. If you want to see the IO module, you can click on the IO module over here. You can see all the functions. Buffered IO base, text IO base, input base. You can see all the classes as well as can see some for loops as well. Okay, I'm going to use the IO module right now. In that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one variable called dummy file. Variable name is dummy file. You can keep any variable name. I'm going to use this module dot string IO function I'm going to use. The string IO function, what will happen? It's going to keep everything in the memory buffer as a string value. Whatever values I'm giving the print statement, that the entire values will be stored in the memory buffer. That memory buffer, it will stored as a string. That's why I'm using the method called string IO. Now, what I'm going to do, in the file argument, I'm going to pass argument as dummy file. What are the contents I typed here? Everything will stored in the memory buffer. Memory buffer. You might have a question. Yeah, I'm storing memory. How I can get the value? Yeah, you can get the value. That's another method is there actually. Just you can put in more statement. Dummy file dot get value. Actually, I am reading from the memory buffer because I stored this welcome Singapore in the one memory buffer called string IO. Memory, see the IO is using a memory buffer. Actually, going to store the memory buffer. The memory buffer I'm going to read the value using get value. Yeah, you can see. Hold on. Yeah, you can see what it's printing. Welcome to Singapore. Like this, it will store in memory. From memory, I can be able to read the value. Like this, you can store the values in the memory buffer. Now, you might have question. I want to store in some external files. I want to store in some external files. In the sense, I want to store in my directory. I can want to store in some servers. What I can do? Yeah, I can do that. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to comment this line. Yeah, I'm going to comment this part alone. I want to use the IO module. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a print statement right now. Welcome to Japan. Welcome to welcome to Python world. Something I can type like this to Python world. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the argument called file argument. In the file argument, I want to pass the path. I want to pass the path I want to pass. What I'm going to do? I'm going to use one function called open. This is a built-in function actually. In the open built-in function, sorry, wait a minute. Yeah, in the open function, I want to pass I can pass my path. What path I going to pass? That is folder of Python. I can able to going to create a new folder. The folder name is output directory. Just go into the output directory, copy this path. In Python, you have to use backward slash. And then I want to give the Python file name, right? I want to give some text file name, sorry, text file name I want to give. I go and type python.txt. After that, I'm going to write in a file. I want to give some permissions. I want to give permissions. What permission I want to give? Write permission I want to give. Write permission means I want to give it as W. If I want to read the file, I want to give R. Okay, just type in here. Okay, don't give caps. Just type W small. Okay, what will happen? It will going to write in Python txt. The string will be welcome to Python world. You can see in the file. Just run the script. It's successfully executed. Just go to the output directory. You can see python.txt file. Txt file you can see. If you open the file, you can see the contents. Welcome to Python world. These are the various arguments we can pass. One is separator, another one is end, and then third one is file, fourth one is flush. Fourth one is flush you can pass. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I want to say one more string formatting preview. Actually, in 2.4 version, from 2.x series, they will use this version. 2.x version, 2.x version, string formattings. How they do string formatting in the sense they use modulo operator. They'll use modulo operator. I'm going to see. I'm going to the value of a fruit. The value of a fruit is I want to use modulo for formatting. Modulo for formatting. Okay. What I'm going to do? 2D. 2D. I'll say wait. And then after the string, you have to pass modulo. Just open bracket. I'm going to pass the values 23. 23. Just run the script. Now what is happening? The value of fruit is 23. I have formatted. Now you may have a question. What is D stands for? D stands for digits. D stands for digits. Mostly for integer value, you have to pass D. You have to pass D. You might have a question. Why I put in 2D? Because I have only two digits. I have two digits. For example, I'm going to pass 3D. As I already said to you, these are the digits most you can use for integers. Now I'm going to pass 3D. Now you might have a question. Yeah, I went 3D. I can able to see only two decimals. Sorry, two digits. I can able to see. What about the third one? Now you can
No
see
space.
one space like this can do. Okay. For example, if I can do 4, I'm going to get two spaces in the front. In the leading I can get two spaces. After that, I'm going to get 23. Okay. Now I'm going to pass 1D. What will happen? The condition is going to get failed because what are 23 I passed. The 23 is going to display the
Two
console.
digits.
No. I passed passed 1D over here. The condition is going to get failed. Whatever I pass 23, the same 23 is going to print in the console. If I pass 3D, see how many digits are there? Only two digits are there. Then one digit will come as a space. One digit will come as a space. This is how we can do the string formatting. Now I'm going to do for floating point values. This is the last one actually. Going to do. Okay. I'm going to pass 3.pf. I'm going to pass some floating values. 3.2f. Yeah. Now what's value you get? See, what is the 3.2f meaning in the sense after decimal I have to get only two digits. I have to get two digits.
Only two digits. Okay.
Two digits with it. You can see right 23.91. Actually, it will do some truncation as well. It will round the value. Instead of 9, it's going to give us 91. Round off. Can't say truncation. We can say both truncation is rounding. Both truncation and rounding. Truncation means instead of 6 digits, it's related to 2 digits. Truncation is happening as well as rounding. Instead of 9098, I got 91. Both rounding and truncation is happening. Both rounding and truncation is happening. Okay, fine. This is how you can format your string using modulo operator. Modulo operator. You can do the formatting. For example, if you are using some integer values, you can put D. If you can put F for floating values. O for octal. O for octal. If you want to convert decimal to octal means you can put O. These things we can do over here. Mostly Python will go for the integer as well as strings. Now, this modulo nowadays no one is using in Python 2 Python expression. They are using this modulo operator for doing the string formatting. Now, we're going to see last one. Last one we're going to see literals. F literals. F literals means string formatting literals. String formatting literals. Instead of formatting, I can say string F literals. F stands for string formatting literals. How to do the test? I go into the print statement. I want to use F in front of double quotes to do the string formatting. To do the string formatting. Welcome, the orange prices 24. I can pass some how to see, like I can pass the value like this. Wait, I equal to 34. I value can pass. This is how you can do the string formatting using string F. String F means string F literals. Okay, F and the formatting. This is how you can do the formatting. You can use F in front of double quotes. You can format the strings. These are the various ways to do the formatting. One you can use format, another you can use modulo, or you can use F. This is how you can format the strings. In tomorrow's session, we're going to see about the variables and loopings. As of now, I'm going to close the session.